Hello and welcome back to the Leeds United Save. Hope you're all doing well today and looking forward to today's episode where it's the end of the January transfer window. We've made one signing, but we've got £9 million still left to spend, and I want to do that with you guys. So once again, thank you ever so much for the support so far on this series. It is blowing my mind, like at this late stage of FM20, how many of you guys are watching and getting really engaged with the series. I massively appreciate it. So again, I'm going to up the likes target, 150 likes on today's video. That would be massively appreciated. And I reckon we can get it easy because you guys are smashing it out the park. Right, jumping into today's episode then. No introduction or anything like that we have done in the previous episodes. We want to get straight into the proper meat of today's episode. And we'll first and foremost go through results since you guys were last here for the 3-1 win against Southampton and the 4-2 loss to Tottenham. We started off with a 3-0 victory against West Brom. We played a very rotated team, if you can see behind my head. Quite a few injuries, but a very rotated team. But we still won 3-0, which was absolutely fantastic. Tyler Roberts, Jack Harrison and Herbie Kane on the score sheet. We then had a fantastic 1-1 draw with Man City. Tyler Roberts scored the goal right at the end of that. But we could have won this game 2-0. Man City's goal came off the back of us having a goal disallowed. They had a free kick for an offside, which they went to score from. So if that goal had stood, we probably could have gone to win this game 2-0, which would have been mental, but it's the way things work out sometimes. But a 1-1 draw with City was absolutely fantastic. A great team performance, which was then absolutely shattered by a 1-0 loss to Brighton the game after that. Not very good, but we did bounce back with a 1-0 win against Villa and then a 5-0 win against Swansea in the FA Cup 4th round. So into the 5th round, which is fantastic stuff, and a big win for us there with Tyler Roberts himself scoring 2 goals. He's looked fantastic actually when he has played this season. 2.5 stars of current ability, but 4.5 stars of potential. If he reaches that, he will be a very handy player for us. Now, there have been transfers and there have been exit. Now, obviously, Luke Ayling and Klitsch were both sort of being touted to leave the club. They both said they wanted to leave, but I wasn't going to offer them out. If clubs came bid for them, I'd probably accept them, and that's exactly what happened to Klitsch. £11 million from Burnley. I said, thank you very much, we'll take your money. Klitsch then said, no, I want to stay at the club, but we'd already accepted the bid, and then he very happily accepted a contract at Burnley and is now at Burnley. It was a bit weird, that, the news articles. We've had some very weird things happen in this save, particularly with that news articles and like last episode when the board happily gave us a new youth facility, but we're so angry at the fact that we asked for junior coaching. It was a bit crazy. Luke Ayling, though, is still at the club. No one wanted to buy him. He's still a bit upset because he still wants a new deal and things like that, which he's not going to get, particularly now that he's rather cross with me. But he's still at the club, and I doubt will be leaving anytime soon. We've also let 4 youngsters go out on loan this January as well, as you can see on this loan out sheet. Joe Gelhardt and Ellis Chapman have gone to Swansea for the rest of the season. They joined Matthias Bogus, who's already there actually at Swansea. So 3 players at Swansea, which is nice to see. Maisler, the goalkeeper, he's gone to Wigan for the rest of the season, and Robbie Gotts has gone to Preston as well. So all getting first team football, all playing quite regularly, and hopefully they'll come back next season ready to sort of challenge for those rotation spots in our first team. And speaking of a rotation option, we've brought a player into the... It's not a great way, really, is it, of trying to big up a transfer. We've brought in a rotation option, but we have done. If we go back to the all transfers list, for £9 million from Watford, we've brought in Ben Wilmot, a 20-year-old centre-back with 3-star current ability and 4-star potential. When he reaches that potential, he probably will be a first-choice starter for us. I think we've got a decent deal. Maybe a little bit overspent right now, but, you know, give it 4 or 5 seasons' time, he'll be valued a lot more than that, and we can hopefully sell him for profit and things like that. But we need another centre-back, particularly a right-footed centre-back who was also a ball-playing defender. This guy came up and... Well, I think I have overspent on him, really, but he's a young English, particularly with under 21 caps as well. Like, it's going to be a bit expensive, but we've got him in from Watford, and actually he did play 1 game and kept a clean sheet, so he's doing a good job already for us. But I'm not done on transfers yet. Today's episode has changed a little bit. The original plan was to do Aston Villa and West Ham, but then that FA Cup game came up, and I thought, well, actually, I'll do Villa and Swansea off camera, and then we'll have the rest of the January transfer window to make some transfers, and then maybe play a couple of them against West Ham United. So my scouts have been out doing all sorts of stuff, being busy, and this player came up, Farinez. Now, he's one of the best wonder kid goalkeepers in the game, actually. He's got great potential, one of the best you can actually get, and he's sort of completely slipped my mind, but you can get him very cheap early on in the game because he's valued very, very poorly, only valued at £1 million. It's not an awful lot, is it? Mainly because he's playing in Colombia for this Colombian team and is currently on loan at Lens. And I want to make an offer for him. I want to bring him into the club. However, we can't do that right now because Lens have an optional future fee clause, which we can't bid for him until that optional future fee clause is either met or is ignored. So we've got to keep an eye out on Farinez. I really want to get him into the club. He'd be a great addition for us, but we have our hands tied a little bit with him. So in the meantime, we've got £9.38 million to spend, 61k left in wages. Ideally, I want to be signing some young guns, like 17, 18 years old, that we can sort of put into the younger squads, given 2 or 3 seasons there, and they will develop into great players for us. So this episode, we're going to be getting, I guess, investments as opposed to players right now for the first team, but we can obviously get them in the first team soon or sell them for profit. Sterigu has come up in the scout reports, and he looks fantastic. Or Sturgiu, I've never quite known how to pronounce his name, but he's a great Swiss centre-back who develops very nicely. Valued at £3.4 million. How much would St. Gallen like for him? Let's suggest terms. 35.5 million. Okay, we're not getting him, unfortunately. That's a shame. But right below him on these scout reports is a chap called Archie Brown, a winger but can play anywhere down the left-hand side and striker, so that's very useful. 17. Apparently, max asking price is 1.4 million. So he looks, his determination of 16 is very good. He's got some, I mean, his mentals aren't brilliant. Physicals, I mean, he could be decent, he might not be. But if we can get him for like £1 million, we can obviously sell him on the future, in the future for a lot more money, I would imagine. So I'm going to put a bid in for him. I'm going to go, let's go 500k, suggest that. They say 1.6. How about, it's not going to go well, is it really? How about let's go 825 and 30% of the future fee. They say 1.3. How about 930? 1.2. So we'll probably end up meeting in the middle, won't we, at about 1 million, 1.1, 1 mil and 40%. Which, okay, it's got to be 1.130. Let's make that offer. Hopefully they accept that. If we edit our search parameters to players 19 and under, and then sort it by potential who are interested in transfers. I mean, Saka's not going to join us because it's far too expensive. Vinicius Junior will never join us, even though apparently he's interested in the transfer, which I find very bizarre. This Yan guy at Salford looks quite good. Currently at Brentford, left winger, but we've already just basically tried to sign one, haven't we, an Archie Brown. How much do they want for him, though? If we just suggest £11 million, no, we're not going to do that. This Jayne Bennett guy, right winger, I like what I see determination-wise. Pace and acceleration's good. I mean, everything else is a little low. But how much do they want for him, first and foremost? How much do they want for him? Let's bid 250k. Suggest that. They say 300 and 30% of the future. How about 275? That's a very cheap deal. He might be rubbish, but that is definitely worth it. We can certainly sell him for more than that in the future if we need to. This guy at Forest, Alex, is lots of wingers today. How much do they want for him? Like, he actually looks the best so far, I think, of what we've seen. So he might cost more. 10 million. That's not going to happen, I'm afraid. But what about Fabrice Hartmann? Obviously, we've not got full scout reports on him, but I mean, that dribbling could be really, really good. Obviously, he's got some all right determination. He looks okay from what I'm seeing. How much do they want for him? Let's make an offer. So currently valued at 275k. Let's go 750. 750k. See what they say to that. And they say 7.25 mil. Can we get it down to like 2.5 mil? 5.5. How about let's drop that down to 3.3. And that's the wrong way. I want to be there, like 30%. 4.6. How about 3.7? 30%. Okay, they've rejected that. Let's go 3.8. Make the offer and see if they come back with anything. So offers on the table for a few players there. Immediately, Bennett has come back and is interested in talking to us. 4.9k per week, supposedly. Squad, regular starter, important player. Let's get rid of that important player. And that regular... I don't like this squad player thing. How about... I'd rather say breakthrough prospect to squad player, which he's not happy with. Okay, well, we can always bin him off if things don't go our way. So let's finalise that deal, negotiate the contract. Let's get rid of, obviously, the future wages, because I don't like doing that. Yearly wage rise, unused substitute fee gone. 5k. Suggest that. He wants 6.5. Let's get rid of that sell on That looks okay to me. It's not a huge deal, is it? So let's get him in. It's a very cheap transfer as well, so we're not going to lose out too much money if things do go badly with him. As we've had another bid accepted, 1.1 million for Archie Brown, the winger on the left-hand side, who looks pretty decent. I just like his determination and his physicals more than anything else. 17 years old as well. We can always develop him. So let's start negotiations. In fact, to be fair, he's more reasonable. Future prospect, breakthrough prospect, fringe player. I like that. Let's get rid of his loan thing because he'll be cross if I don't loan him out, and that isn't great. So let's just get rid of that. Can you suggest... Why is Orta doing that? Oh, I guess he's our man who does transfers, isn't he? What am I trying to say? Director of football. So let's get rid of everything that he wants, future-wise, because I don't like doing the future stuff. And suggest that he wants one... well, he's gone orange already, but that seems like a fair deal to me. Okay, let's get that in. Another player may be coming. Leipzig want £4.1 million for Hartmann. Am I happy with that? What's the worst that could happen? It's a lot of money. League One level, but has potential to Premier League. Okay, so that's good. Hasn't played well this season, but he's only, 17 or something like that. Can we get to 4 million? 4 mil, 30%. They say yes. Okay, accept that demand. Let's try and get him into the club. So he wants to come in as a fringe player, squad player, regular starter. That seems reasonable to me. Finalise that. Negotiate the contract. Right. What's his agent like? His agent wants the best deal for himself and his client. Okay. So we should probably not try and make too many changes to this. Let's just get rid of that yearly wage rise and unused substitute fee. I'm kind of happy to leave those in. Let's move him up to 5k. And let's give his agent some more money as well, because his agent will love that, won't he? Probably. Suggest? He's happy. Okay. 3 out of 3 so far look like they might be done. Rodrigo has been taken ill with a virus. You hate to see that. Let's send him home so he doesn't infect anyone else, because that would be terrible. Bamford now wants to discuss going out on loan somewhere, because he's not happy at the club. To be fair, I'm not very happy with Bamford either. 0 goals in 7 appearances, 1 in 8 appearances. I mean, most of them off the bench, aren't they? Let's discuss the issue with him. I think it's better if you go permanently. Because I'm thinking I want to try and get rid of him because he's not very good. If he's now coming to me and says he wants to leave, I'm going to just jump on that bandwagon. Get out of here. Forget I said anything. I'll drop the whole thing. See, it's put the seed in my head, though. He's not very happy. I'm going to offer him out. It might give us some more money for more Wonder Kids. That's what I'm thinking. So let's see if clubs want to bid for him. Let's just put him out there. Put the feelers out there. See who wants him. And West Brom coming straight away, £7 million. Can we negotiate that? I think we reject both of those. And we do the old sort of trick that we like to do. As the red arrows are flying over my house. Offer new, not new contracts. Oh, wrong thing there. Patrick Bamford. Transfer. Offer to clubs. 10 mil. Let's see if West Brom bite on £10 million. I'll let him go for that. As £6 million from Derby. Okay, not what we want to see. Patrick Bamford, transfer, offer to clubs. Let's bring it down to 8.5 mil. See if West Brom bite on that. They wanted to pay £7 million. He's now cross because he's not been able to move to West Brom. Let's discuss the issue with him. Finances weren't right on the deal. 10 million. He's happy with that. Okay, so he'll accept 10 mil. We've offered him out for 8.5. Oh, this has been a terrible mistake. Patrick Bamford, transfer. Offer to clubs. Should have accepted that 7 mil. Let's just put him back on for 7. And hopefully, there we go. West Brom back in, 7 mil. Let's just get him gone. Josko is now out with the flu. Oh, everyone's getting ill at the club. This is not great, particularly the West Ham game coming up in 5 days' time. We're missing Josko and Rodrigo for that one because they're ill. It's now transfer deadline day, and none of our deals have actually been confirmed yet. So I'm going to take part in this. I don't normally, but we'll take part in it. So transfers in. Potentially that's 5.5 million. Okay, which gives us another £4 million or so, plus the 7 million that we should be getting for Bamford. So then that gives us, what, 12 million or so to spend? Not 12 million, about 10 million or so to spend. Okay, looking back on more players for the future, who else might want to join us? Reece Williams? Can we get him in? I mean, he looks young, transfer, 5-star potential, how much they want for him. A very cheap deal. Okay, let's make the offer. Let's try and get him in. A lot of these players might be absolutely terrible for us down the line, but it's you know, you don't know until you buy them for cheap deals, and that's what I'm trying to do. This guy from Argentina at Boca, centre midfielder, looks really good. Issue is work permits are unlikely. So we could get him pretty cheap by looks of things, but we've got to spend at least £16 million to get the work permit, which, okay, that's not going to happen. Just seen this chap pop up on our scout reports. Killian Ludwiig, currently at Barnsley. Josh, you'll love that. Salzburg, he's on loan from Salzburg, I should say. It got potential. Is a fullback, not a wing back, but his crossing and dribbling is still pretty decent. Like, you don't normally see like huge crossing and dribbling from your wing back, so he could be decent. How's he played for Barnsley this season? Terribly, absolutely terribly. But he's got potential. How much do they want for him? Let's put a feeler out at 500k. They say 3.4 mil. How about 1 mil? 30%. 2.9. How about 1.5? 30%. 2.4. How about 1.7? 30%. They say 2.2. How about 2 million? 30%. They agree. God, let's do it. Why not? We've got nothing to lose. Other than £2 million, obviously, as well. I've now gone into the realms of players that I haven't got scouted out. But I was just sort of scrolling and looking at determination and things like that. It's pretty high with 16 determination potentially. And he's at Dinamo, and they usually produce some good youngsters. 2 goals in 2 games, 100% scoring record. What else do you want? Can play with both feet, which is fantastic. 17 years old. If he's terrible, we can sell him on in the future for more money, or get him out on loan for money and things. How much do they want for him, first and foremost? He's valued at what, 130k? So let's put a £500,000 suggestion in there. 10 mil. I'm not happy with that. Surely not. 3.5 mil. 3.5 mil suggests that. 7 mil. Okay, how about 3.5 mil installments? Not installments. After 50 league appearances, we'll give you another 3.5 mil, because he might not ever get there. You see. Suggest they'll accept that. Okay. I like that. So both these chaps are now looking for contracts with us. So Ludwiig up first, future prospect, that's fine. And contract-wise, let's get rid of these like future wages, yearly wage rise, unused substitute fee. Get rid. Is that fine with him? 6k will do you good. There we go. Perfect. And then potentially a lot of money wasted on this striker who's 17 years old. 3.5 mil is a lot of money, but we spent more on Josko, didn't we? Had a lot of. Let's have more faith in Dinamo. Okay, he wants a lot. I'm not going to send him out on loan, and I'm not going to give him a massive contract, but everything else looks good. He agrees with that. And the contract looks good as well. Now, he wants a minimum fee release clause in there of 27 mil. I'm happy to push it to 30, because if someone wants to buy him for £30 million off us straight away, that's fine. If he ends up looking good, we give him a new contract to get rid of that, I think. So let's get rid of that yearly wage rise as well. Unused substitute fee removed. Suggest. Let's just push that back up to 30. 22.6k is nothing. Happy. Easy. What a window we're having. Well, I say that. We've not actually properly signed them yet, although they are all coming in right now. Okay. Well, Bamford's set to go to West Brom. Accept that straight away. I'm happy to let him go. He's been terrible, so off you go. 7 mil in the bank. Thank you. We do now have to accept these offers for these other players. Let's just go for it, all right? Let's close our eyes. Just press accept on every single one of them. This one, his contract negotiation with Reece Williams. Forgot about him. We even offered him a deal. Again, get rid of all these optional things and suggest the deal. Looks fine to me. Let's go. So Bamford is gone, officially. He's off. See you later, man. You were a waste of time. Leeds have signed Fabrice Hartmann. Is he any good? Premier League division winger in the future. He looks good. He actually could be used next season, I reckon. Fabrice Hartmann looks okay to me. Send on intensive language course. Cooper, welcome him to the club. I'm liking what I'm seeing, as does Shitty Gel, clearly. Okay. He's our 6th best right winger. But, obviously we've got to get rid of Pablo Hernandez because he's, 34, nearly 35. Jack Harrison won't be here next season. Rodrigo plays up front. Cliver on the left. So he could be first choice next season. Archie Brown has signed, not quite the 5-star potential that the scout report seems to have him at, but still 4.5, which looks decent. Could improve a lot. Cooper, welcome the young English. Is he a defender? Winger. Striker. Winger. From Derby. I can't remember who we signed now, which is quite bad. But again, He'll be on an under-23 squad. He looks so decent. And then Jayne Bennett, potential championship player. Okay, we've lost a bit out on this guy then. Obviously, Hartmann and Brown look like wins based on their potential abilities, but Bennett maybe lost out a little bit because he's going to be a championship defender, a winger rather than a Premiership one, but we paid pennies for him in the grand scheme of things, so we could sell him on for future fees. He's already valued at nearly what we've paid for him, so that'll be fine. We can sell him on if we need to. Ludwiig is now set to sign for us as well. Let's accept that, and fingers crossed that is a good one as well. It's only 4 stars, but that's still potential Premier League right back apparently. But Bennett was also 4 stars. That's Championship. So maybe Bennett could be Premier League. You never know. It might develop and get better. But okay, we'll take that. That's not the worst, is it? It's still a good player for the future. And he can play. He's so versatile as well. So he's good to have around potentially. Obviously, the big one, potentially £7 million we could be getting for or paying for this guy, Bartosz Barisic. Let's accept that. And then also Reece Williams is coming in as well. How good are they going to be? Well, Bartosz has got 5-star potential, so that's nice. 2-star current ability, 5-star potential. Get him on loan somewhere next season, he'll be quite decent. At least that's my hope. I'm suddenly pinning an awful lot on this guy. I'm expecting him to just be amazing in the future now. That look, already valued at £3.8 million. We're making some money. Get his finishing up, get his first touch up, get everything else up. He'll be a great player. And then Reece Williams has come in as 4-star potential Premier League centre. I think we've done well. Obviously, we're not going to see returns on these immediately, but I think we've done well out of all of this. And instantly, clubs want these guys on loan, interestingly. Birmingham want Barisic, the striker, only as a squad player, though. Stick in the Championship. If you made him a regular starter, please, suggest that. They say, okay, you're not having him. Tranmere wants Killian Ludwiig, though, as a regular starter. He is what's he currently playing at? League 2 level, and Tranmere are 8th in League 2. All right, go for it. Why not? Barisic is at League 1 level. Let's offer him out on loan as a important player. I won't lock it in. Let's just see who comes in for him, if anyone. 10 clubs want him. Okay, I'm going to send him to Swansea. Just because we've got 4 other players there already, he may as well go to Swansea and join the rest of them there. And there we go. Transfer deadline day has passed. We've done everything. We've signed players. We've got a game against West Ham, and then we will finish things up there for today's probably, looking at the time, quite a long episode. So, of course, I've completely forgotten about it, but Josko and Rodrigo obviously both out with their colds, basically, isn't it? So we've got to bring Cooper back into a starting lineup. I tell you what I'm going to do. Because we've got to start Roberts up front, I'm going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. I was going to put Hartmann on, but he's injured. What's he got wrong with him? A hip injury. Okay. I can't... That's so annoying. I'm going to put Hartmann on for his debut, and he's going to score a goal when you hate to see it. Okay, then Helder Costa, you go on the bench, actually. You go on the bench. Pablo Hernandez on the bench as well, and I guess we'll put Reece Williams on the bench as well we might have a little go, maybe. I don't know, maybe. He's got to fill the bench up, though. We've got to have a defender on there. He's the only one that's sort of fit, so there we go. So kickoff is upon us against West Ham. Hopefully we can get a win here today just to calm things down after a bit of a hectic end to the transfer window, but lots of players being brought in. Some of you may think I've gone a bit over the top with signing some young players. Wait until you see next summer. It's going to be that on steroids. I think my plan for next summer is to sell most players that we've got, which I know a lot of people won't be happy with, but I think that is the thing to do to bring in just the players that I want, basically. So Casilla, he'll be gone, unfortunately. McCallum will stay. He's a player that wants to sort of develop, as will Shackleton. But who's out on the wing here? Pastelak, he could come back, potentially, actually, but we'll have to get a new right back in if he doesn't come back, for example. So we'll have to change things up there. Basically, I want to build a young squad with lots of potential, and we can sort of develop that and add to it as we move up the leagues. I mean, if we bring in lots of young players next season, we might actually struggle a little bit, but if Tyler Roberts keeps scoring 8 goals, and then obviously we've got a few games left he could easily get to 10 or 15 goals this season. If he gets that every season or so, that is a main striker sort of number, I suppose, isn't it? So Tyler Roberts is doing really well this season with a great header there. But as I was saying, a young squad, we may end up losing more games next season because of the inconsistency, because of such a young squad. But in the long run, it's worth it. So there's going to be a lot of change next transfer window, I reckon. I have just noticed, though, if we end up winning this game, we'll be 2 points away from 40 points. And 40 points is pretty much what you need to guarantee yourself safety in the Premier League. So we've done very, very well this season. And I think it allows us to experiment a little bit in the second half of the season, because I'm not worried about us getting relegated. I'm not fussed if we finish 17th, because I think we're good enough to stay up anyway. I think it allows us to experiment quite a bit in the second half of the season as Tyler Roberts looks for a second goal, can't quite get it. Well, West Ham have just been given a penalty. I wasn't quite looking at the time, so I'm not quite sure what happened, but come on, we've not saved it, you hate to see it. So West Ham have equalised through a penalty. It was Cooper that brought him down in the area, that's all I saw, because of course it's 5 o'clock right now as I record this, so I was just putting a quick tweet out to say, come and watch today's episode, which came out yesterday as you watch this, but now I keep missing things, key things in episodes. It's not good on me, is it? Hopefully we can turn it all around in the second half, as we've just given the ball away to Felipe Anderson, who's through on goal. Why is no one challenging him there? Luckily, Kiko Casilla makes a very good save there, but he's number 33 for the 33-year-old. 33 is far too old to be in a TomFM team. If they're under 25, in fact, if they're 25, they're getting on a little bit, and I want to sort of move them on a little bit. Usually it's like 23 and under in my teams, and that's how I like it. There's always a player in Football Manager who is younger and better, and that's what I always try and do. Always try and find the younger, better players to replace the already pretty young, good players that we've already got in the squad. Free kick for West Ham, though, which is blocked by the wall quite nicely, although they do retain possession, annoyingly, as they try and bring it across the area. I mean, we're not tackling them, which isn't great. Into Haller, I mean, that's a very good goal from Felipe Anderson. I'll give him that, to be fair. It's a decent goal. But all of a sudden, we are now 2-1 down, which isn't great. You know, after leading 1-0. I mean, I'm talking about lack of experience maybe hindering us next season. The experience that we actually do have in this squad right now is also hindering us a little bit, which isn't great. I mean, again, West Ham coming forward. West Ham are down in, well, they were 17th and now 15th in the table, but they shouldn't be beating us. And yet here they are, thrashing us. Well, now that we are 3-1 down, we may as well give Reece Williams his debut. Just see what he can do out there. You replace Ben Wilmot, have a lovely time out there. Calvin Phillips on you. In fact, our two centre midfielders, only two players that are playing well. So let's not bring Phillips on. Helder Costa, you come on for Jack Harrison. See what you can do just to try and change the game in the last 10 minutes. And here is Helder Costa on the ball. Come on, lads, do something clever with it into McCalmont, into Justin Kluivert. He just hasn't played well, Justin Kluivert, this season. I'm just going to hope that it's like going to take him a year to settle into the squad. Next season he'll be insane, but he's just not impressed me really at all this season so far. Whereas Williams, Reece Williams with a good clearance of the Roberts. Reece, best bit of play that we've seen all game as Helder Costa. Come on. You hate to see it, misses it. We've got a chance to build out from the back. Come on, Kiko. Come on, lad. Reece Williams, good pass. Well in, lad. Keep it up. Good pass. I'm expecting big things from you. The 17-year-old who should be playing League 2 football, but isn't playing a Premier League game right now because I just want to play a wonder kid. Not even a wonder kid, just a decent youth player. I mean, I've risked a lot here to put him on the pitch. An awful lot. That's how much of... What was that? What was that, Cooper? I can't believe what I've just seen here. I mean, it's a good shot from Felipe. What does Cooper do here? Well, Liam Cooper, I mentioned earlier on today's episode that I don't really want you around next season, potentially. That has now been extended to I don't want you around right now. I don't want him in the club if he's doing things like that. Wow. You know, you think you know a person. You think you know you can trust a defender, a steady old head, but no. I mean, he's done worse than Reece Williams. And Reece Williams is a 17-year-old who's probably never played a game of professional football in his life before. And I can't believe what I've just seen there. Annoyingly, he has waited until we've got into February to do something like that. My goodness gracious me. Interaction, warm player, criticise last game. You were not good enough last game. He wasn't great, things will improve. That's not a great response, you know. I wanted a big response. I wanted an apology, basically, and he's not giving me it. Your days are numbered, Liam Cooper. Your days are numbered. Well in though, Reece Williams. Very proud of you. Keep it up, my little golden boy. So a bit of a bizarre end to that, I must say. A very bizarre end to that episode with that bizarre own goal. Next episode then, I think what I will do is play through to the Liverpool and Burnley game, do those ones on camera, and then we can finish off the season with Arsenal and Man United, then revamp the squad and get rid of Liam Cooper, who scores stupid own goals. I still can't get over that. That was just absurd. Either way, if you are still watching at this point in the video, thank you very much. It's been a long one, so please do drop a like on the video. I would massively appreciate that. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And of course, come back tomorrow. That's what I wanted to say. Come back tomorrow for the next episode. That's all I need to say. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Goodbye.